flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So first on our agenda tonight is the approval of minutes, May 13th. Can I have a motion?
I wasn't there, so I'll let Lindsay do it.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Carlson, seconded by Commissioner Gaffney. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
301. You abstain?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, 301.
You need a copy to sign, or do you have?
Yeah. Actually, do have a copy here. Maybe not a pen. Public participation? Yeah, just come on up, sir, and just state your name and address. How you doing tonight?
Good, yourself?
Good, thank you.
Good, good. My name is Bob Young, and I live at 3 Valley Circle. And I'm a homeowner with my wife, taxpayer, and a voter. And this is the first time that I've come before this group. And I'm here because I'm a very concerned citizen of Burlington. There's a phrase that you might have heard: if you see something, say something. So I'm here to say something. And I want to start by reading a definition of the Director of Parks and Recreations. It says, definition: under the policy direction of the Recreation Commission, the Director of Parks and Recreation has responsibility for planning, organizing, directing, and coordinating a wide variety of recreational programs and services for residents of all ages, overseeing the maintenance and improvement of all, and that's the key word that I want to focus on, all public parks, all school grounds, athletic fields, playgrounds, and recreational facilities, and developing new recreation programs, facilities, and services for the citizens of the community. I've been visiting some of the parks and athletic fields in this town, and I don't know when any of you might have done this so, but I'm sitting in front of you because I'm deeply concerned with what I see. I see trash, I see landscaping issues, and I see maintenance issues. And they didn't happen last week. So I'm here to also engage, learn, but I would encourage you to go and see all of the facilities. I want to just give you a few examples of the concerns that I have. So the Burlington High School campus has many pervasive issues. Again, the trash, litter, landscaping, and maintenance. There's a path that goes by where the students park their cars. All kinds of trash right in that area, which is actually a wetland.
Park the cars where? What path?
Okay, I think it's Arlington Road or Arlington Street where the barrier is. Okay, so right in front of it, there's a walkway.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a walkway. But the cars, over time, well, number one, there's a wetland to the right when you go down and you're going towards the stadium. All kinds of trash in there. You might have a little bit of trouble seeing it now because of some grass and other things that are there, but I can assure you it's been there, and been there for a long time. But specifically on the path, there's gravel there, and gravel over time is being pushed onto that pathway. And if someone's in a wheelchair, if someone is in a walker, if someone has a baby carriage, it's not acceptable. And that's been going on for a long time. Over to Simons Park. Again, I say there's pervasive issues. I walked the full campus over there. Over by the wading pool, there's a number of brown buildings. I don't know what they're used for. They're painted, they look like logs on the outside. Does that
Yeah.
ring a bell?
Yeah.
Okay. In need of a paint job. Hasn't seen a paintbrush or paint in a very long time. As you pull into the parking lot and come up to where you would go into where the play area is for the kids, there's several handicap parking spots. The last several times I've been there, and the last time I was there, there's no handicap sign. It's on the first spot. It's just the pole. Saturday, this past Saturday, I took a ride up there. The baseball field, I'm talking the upper field, the one that abuts South Bedford Street. Yes, the grass was mowed on the Little League field, but there was a lot of it just sitting there. It's going to turn into hay. But more importantly, on the outside of the outfield fence, all the way around, there is a hill there, but the grass wasn't mowed. And you got a lot of people going up there to use that facility. Now, on the third base side, several picnic tables. One of them completely surrounded by grass, like this high. So they mowed around it and didn't take care of it. As you come up the access road, and right against there's, as you take the turn, and then there's parking spots on the right there. There was a barrel into the woods, whatever you want to call it, a trash barrel. Great. Totally full. This was like at, I don't know, 5 o'clock on Saturday. Totally full, and then people have taken bags, they just didn't, throw individual pieces of paper. They put it into bags and put it right down there. So if people are going to go and use that on Sunday, there's going to be even more trash. Down at the bottom of the hill, there's a nice new basketball area there. But if you come in from South Bedford, take a left, the basketball court's on your right. If you get down near the corner, before you get out to that, cut-through street from from Cambridge Street, there's a huge hole over there. And the parking lot's in terrible condition. So you got something very nice, and you got something that's just, it just doesn't make sense. So, as I said, I want to come here in a cooperative, but I'm very, and I'll use the word upset about what I see. I'm civic-minded. I have been my whole life. I'll say it something else. I was a Boy Scout, and you might say a Boy Scout, always a Boy Scout. We had one thing that I learned. If you go to a campsite, leave it cleaner than what you found. So, for all these reasons, as I say, I want to work cooperatively, but this is a very serious matter from my point of view. And I hope that you will take it seriously, that we can convene at another time, and after you've had an opportunity, I hope you'll take it seriously and go visit all these particular parks and school areas, and then get to a point where some of this needs immediate action, and then we need long-term planning to make sure it doesn't happen again. So I appreciate this time, and I hope, again, that we can work together to make, I said it in front of another committee, right now I can't say beautiful Burlington. I'd like to, but I can't. So, again, thank you for your time. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to take them, but I think you've given me an opportunity to at least raise the concern that I have. And let me just close with this. I don't know if you read the Burlington Buzz, but they had an article Sunday about trash and other problems in the town of Burlington. So there are other people that are concerned about this, even though they may not have come up. I don't know if they've emailed you, but it is an important issue, and thank you.
Thank you for your comments. So I'll speak for myself. I mean, I'm in the parks often. You know, I usually make it a point once a week to drive around to all the parks. I hear you about the trash, but the trash, I mean, the trash is picked up daily by our staff in the parks. As far as your comments about the schools and down by that field, I mean, you have 800 kids going to school every day, stuff going on there. I know we've heard about this in the past, Brendan, and I'm sure Brendan has spoken to head of maintenance, and I know Brendan, I'm sure has looked at that. As far as the parking lot at Simon's Park, that is on the agenda to be done soon.
Yep, this
And
July.
in July, so that's going to be a whole new parking lot. It's going to be, that was redesigned by the engineering department. And,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You mean the upper?
no, the lower, where you were talking about the,
Around the basketball court.
so where you're talking where the hole is, that's going to be done. And we just went to town meeting, and we just, at a whole, we just got approved for $200,000 a year for our maintenance on our parks. Now, this is, we know that we want to make our parks the best they are. And we, as a commission, are devoted to that, and I know Brendan and his staff is devoted to that. So, I mean, we don't take your comments lightly. For me personally, you know, that's why I got on the Recreation Commission, is for fields and field maintenance. So, as far as trash, you say trash Saturday night, I mean, if you have, I mean, that park's used all day on Saturday. It was a beautiful day. A trash barrel can be filled in 2 seconds up there. Not to mention, sometimes residents go up there and dump trash that really shouldn't be dumped there, but believe me, we're on it. I'll speak, that's, for me, is speaking from the chair. I'll hand it over to Brendan and see if he has any more comments on that.
So thank you, Bob, for bringing those concerns. Some of them I'm aware of, some not. But I would love to, if you would like to sit down and go through it, and we can discuss our current maintenance and how we can make improvements. I'd love to take suggestions, open to that. We do get behind from time to time, and, you know, try to play catch up. I know we're behind with cutting now, and we've been working some overtime shifts to keep the fields and the town buildings and stuff cut. They worked this weekend cutting these lawns and came back and did the trimming today. And then our maintenance department, you know, works very hard doing that. But if there's things that, in your experience, you've seen that, you know, could work, I'm open to those suggestions. So I'd love to sit down and discuss those with you. And as Commissioner Norden mentioned, that parking lot that you mentioned at Simon's is up for renovation this summer. And there'll be, you know, they'll put a couple catch basins in, so it'll help with drainage, but they will be redone there as well. And yeah, trash is an issue all over. It's not just a specific problem to Burlington. I know some places, you know, it's worse than others, and you know, I think it's going to take a good community effort, right? Making sure that everybody, when they use a park, cleans up after themselves. I was here on Saturday morning checking on some things. I know the barrels were emptied at Simon's. There could have been a picnic or something up in the tables and the trees. Could have filled, I don't know, but I believe it would have gotten emptied on Sunday morning. We have trash coverage this time of year, 7 days a week. We have overtime shifts on the weekend that clean bathrooms and pick up, do the trash barrels in town. But I would love to take the time to sit down and discuss that with you, if you're
All right.
open to it.
Yeah, I'd be open to it. I just wanted to bring the, I mean, I could certainly say a lot more, and I'll just save it. But in fact, it wasn't clear to me recently, and it came out in that article in the Burlington Buzz, there's different departments that do different things. And really have to get to the bottom of who's responsible for what. And I won't go into all of it, but there was another citizen and myself that went up to the school committee, and we thought that they might have handled the work that needs to be done up there. And that's not the case. That's not the case, and that's why I read the job description. And at this point, there's a number of things up there that are disconcerting, I will tell you. So,
Where's that?
right at the campus,
At the high
campus.
Oh, the high school.
Of Burlington
I-
High
I
School.
didn't know what you were talking
Yeah,
about.
no, that's fine. Yeah, so, I mean, but another citizen myself took the time to go to a school committee meeting because we thought maybe they were responsible, but it turns out they're not. And I don't think this is any news to Brendan because I've been made aware that they've tried to work with the Park and Recreation Department, and it hasn't gone very smoothly. And I can see just a myriad of problems up there, and it's pervasive. It's been going on a long time. So that's why I'm here, and I hope we can get that campus the way it should be. And, you know, I'm not opposed to, you know, trying to get this message out, whether it's a banner or other things are on our webpage saying, you know, don't litter. You know, I mean, there's probably more people that don't litter than do. But I think, again, I mentioned earlier, if there's litter around, people are more inclined to litter. And so there's just been a lot of it up at the high school. I mean, I live near there. I said where I live, so we walk up there.
Yeah.
So we see it, and we know it's there. And so we'd like it to be taken care of the way it should be. And I think this might be another point. You know, it seems that there's a focus on Simons Park, the Common, and some other areas. I don't have the survey in front of me, but there was a survey recently, and I believe there were 7 locations listed. And I don't believe Burlington High School was on that list. Now, you had a graduation you just talked about. You have all the sports that are up there. And not only that, we have people coming from all other kinds of communities. And it's just not the way it should be. And so I'd like to investigate that with the entire committee as well. But there's a lot of landscaping that needs to be done. As you get down to the path where there's one barrel, there was quite a bit of, I'll call it small bushes or brush or something that was cut, and it was just left there. And it's been there, it's gotta be almost 2 months. So, and that path is one of the biggest problems. And since we're on the path, I don't know what you think, but I think I don't know how it's possible. But if you park on, isn't it Dougherty's Way all the way from, okay. So if you park on Dougherty's Way or up at the parking lot to go to a football game in September, a home game, you walk down and you come into that little short access road, and what's right in front of you to the right? The dumpster. The dumpster. And there's not even, you know, like if it's McDonald's, Burger King, you know, they have 4 sides. Even that would make it look a little better, but I hope that's one of the things that we can find. I don't know how much trash is being generated. That's a big dumpster. I mean, is that really, really necessary? Or can we find another way? I've just never been to even a high school facility that has a dumpster sitting there. So, again, I have, it's a laundry list, but it's reasonable. It's things you see. At least I see. And so, anyway, I give you those additional examples. And so.
Anyone else have any comments? Commissioner Gaffney?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, and Mr. Young, thank you for bringing those to our attention. It's always good to have the public do that, so we do appreciate it. Just like the other commissioners, I go around to the field as well. I can tell you on Sunday mornings, the trash is picked up. I'm at Simons every Sunday morning at 8:30, and I see the trash, I see the truck come in and picking up the trash. So that's a validation of that to the director. Yeah, I think there's opportunities around there. I know we've talked in the past about the dumpsters and closing them. Maybe we can bring that up again tonight about, 'cause I don't know if it's there for the summer, but one of my hot buttons is to enclose those dumpsters, so you bring up a very good point. But again, I see, as a matter of fact, as I walk around, I mentioned by email to the director about there was some, I would say it's trash, but there's some different activity, I would call it junk. It was a pallet and some pipes and down in the woods assignment. So we're all around the place and we're communicating that to the director. So hopefully you feel confident that we're on that. When we see something, we're going to say it and bring that up and get it addressed. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I think it's all that's it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Kraus?
I just want to say thank you for coming and sharing your thoughts, and, you know, I think it's helpful to have the public's opinion and the public's, you know, interpretations of, you know, what's, you know, of the landscaping and everything else. So appreciate you coming in and, you know, taking the time to do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the time, and I look forward to communicating further with the committee and Brendan. And as it is right now, I've focused on the Burlington High School, but I visited Wildwood Park that's near me. I visited Francis Wyman School. They had an event there. There was a lot of people having a good time on Saturday, their carnival. And I had gone there in the past when they had the hazardous waste days. They used to have it there. They've moved it, I believe, to Fox Hill School. And I took a look around at that property, and I see lots of issues. See lots of issues there that just didn't start last week either. So, you know, we could get into that in another time. But, you know, and everybody here is a citizen of Burlington. I'll just mention this, which when you come off of the main road and then you're going to go to drive down on the right-hand side of the school, and then they have the gate, right there was a huge, and I took a picture of it, a huge air conditioner. It was running. So I don't know what's in that room or what would need to be air conditioned, you know, 24/7, but I was very curious.
Simon's Park, I'm sorry.
No, this is Francis Wyman School where the carnival was on Saturday.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I'm talking now just as citizens.
Right.
Not necessarily, because there are issues of landscaping, maintenance, and other things that I have concerns that I saw, and I took a lot of pictures. So, look forward to sharing. And so what I'm alluding to, what I want to say is I haven't been to necessarily all the parks, all the schools. So, thank you. Thank you.
I would like to say, our staff works hard, our maintenance staff. We have a lot of property to take care of throughout the town. 15 parks, all the schools. We have 9 guys. And this time of year, you got rain, you get all kinds of conditions. So like, in certain times of the year, this is our busiest time of the year. So I wanted just to say that our staff works hard. Are we perfect? No, but we're trying to be perfect. And we have gone in front of town meeting, got approval for money for parks. We are working with schools to come up with a plan. Is it going to be perfect tomorrow? No, but we hear your concerns. But I just wanted you to know that our staff, I want to point that our staff is out there working as hard as they can. We're doing overtime right now, so I just want you to know that, okay? That, and then we hear your concerns. So it ain't going to happen overnight, you know. But we'll work with you. You work with us.
And I got on to something else, if I could, just one more moment. What I was alluding, or what I wanted to say about the stadium is there's a lot of people that use that facility all year long.
Oh, yeah, we know.
And it's not up to snuff over there. It really isn't. So I'm eager to give you more details for what I see and what others see. But I did mention, you know, the dumpster, but there's a myriad of other things that are questions up there. And the reason why I read the job description, and I respect what you said, I'm not saying people necessarily aren't working hard, but what it says here, it says all, the maintenance improvement of all parks and school grounds. It doesn't say a few, some, you know.
Yeah, we know, yeah.
Well, it's right here in black and white.
I know.
And so I guess my other point in closing is Simon's Park is, the survey that was done, let me get back to that for one
Oh,
quick second.
we
I
know you, so we.
It wasn't even on the list. Burlington High School wasn't even on the list, if I'm not mistaken. Was
That's,
not on the list.
Yeah.
that's schools, that's not parks and recreation.
Yeah,
Wait, what does it
Mr.
say?
Chair, I just want to make sure that
It's
we're
all
clear.
public parks and
Right.
school
Oh.
grounds.
So the survey that was sent out
Yeah,
was for parks. There was because we're working on our master plan for the parks.
yeah,
There was a master plan done for the fields, for
okay,
the school fields a couple of years ago that was just finalized.
okay.
The survey was specifically for the parks themselves, so that's why Burlington High School was not on that
Okay.
list, because we were only talking about the parks.
Okay.
So that's why it mentioned Simons, Wildwood, Rahanas, because that was the focus of the survey, was just the parks themselves. So I want to make sure that we're clear that
Okay.
we are still, obviously, we maintain and, all the school fields and the parks. However, that survey and this plan is for the parks themselves and not the school grounds.
Thank you for clearing that up for me. And as I say, I'm here to learn too, so,
So the-
thank you.
Go ahead.
If I could just add, I'm sorry, when, I was gonna ask you about the survey. So was it what, we had published a few months ago, or, okay. I didn't know if there was another survey that I wasn't aware of.
No.
So yes, and Commissioner, Carlson, thank you. I was gonna say Commissioner Lindsay. Commissioner Carlson, did represent that correctly. The schools did an athletic field master plan a few years ago that covered the athletic fields that they play on and a few others. And then, as part of our outdoor facility master plan, it's covering everything. It does cover some school grounds as well, the amenities and improvements that could be made there. And there's this, I think forever relationship with the schools and the towns, where the town maintains school properties and, sorting out what those expectations are now as opposed to what they were 30 or 40 years ago, in how we can better work together. So that is something that we'll be working on as well. So I do, I just wanted to ask some clarification points. And I think maybe when we get a chance to sit down, we'll be able to have that conversation a little more clear. And
And if any of the members want to speak to me, I'm open to that. And as I
Yeah.
say, hopefully get to a better place where,
Absolutely, we're on board with you. We want nothing but the best parks and schools in Burlington. That's why we live here. So we hear your concerns, and we're going to work very hard to make everything happen. Thank you very much for your time.
thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Good. So Brandon, we're going to go to your report.
okay,
This says me, but I think we'll go to you. It says chairman's report, but I think we'll go with you.
oh, I must have pulled the directors off. Thank you. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay, the first item, as you're aware, our capital requests were approved at town meeting. I'd like to take the time to thank town meeting members for approving our request, and we look forward to start getting to work on the projects and also purchasing any of the equipment there to help our maintenance division and program division, TR divisions, with their work in front of them. We touched on the some upkeep and landscaping just with Mr. Young, but our staff is out there working hard to try to stay on top of everything. We really, the grass took off in the last couple weeks with the heat that we get, the warmer temperatures. It does take off. We have identified some ways that we can try to stay on top, working some overtime during the week to try to stay on top of schools, when there's no one in session, we can get to the schools and get them cut. And then, you know, we may be doing the cutting and coming back to do the trimming the next day or within a couple days. When we get everything cut, then we can go back through and trim if that's how it's working. We do have 2 large area mowers that are 16-foot mowers. One of them was down at the end of 2 weeks ago, and we got it back the Tuesday after Memorial Day, just in time for the other one to snap an axle. So with parts delay and everything, we're looking at 3 weeks before we get that back in hand. So we've made some adjustments in getting some other smaller mowers that'll go out and try to take care of the large, you know, working in tandem, try to take care of the large areas that the big mower that's down took care of. And then that in combination with us working some overtime and then some seasonal staff coming in, that will all help, and hopefully we'll be able to make, or we're making some strides on the work that needs to be done now. And so we also have the spring fertilizer and seeding that was started and should be finished this week. All of that, you know, trying to get everything done with just our 9 full-timers. I think we have 2 seasonal on now. So we're working at it. It's not a simple, quick answer or, you know, quick thing to change, but I think you'll see some definite improvements as we go along. And we are working with volunteer groups as well to help, to assist us. You know, they'll work on the common, a group that's going to work at our building, you know, and then start spreading out. When we do have volunteer groups, it does require us to have some of our staff on hand. A lot of the volunteer groups want to work during the day, you know, when they're scheduled to be at their office. So that, you know, throws a little bit of a curveball in it, because now have to take, you know, someone off of something they're doing to work with that group. So we try to balance those. If they, you know, if a company can work after, you know, at the end of their day, you know, that's a little easier for us, because we can have someone stay on overtime and work with them, and they're not coming off of some, you know, their regularly scheduled responsibility during the day. So we'll continue to work on that. We did, I think Mr. Young mentioned, we had graduation prep and talking about the stadium. So our staff spent a good portion of last week working around the rain on Thursday and into Friday morning, working on the stadium, got it ready for graduation. It looked really nice. Francis Wyman baseball field project is moving forward. Recently met with the architect, engineers, and representatives from the school to look at the plan. There are some different options being considered out there. The field is going to be located in the same area. It is going to move about, I think it's 27 feet out. The home plate will go out towards the pitcher's mound more, so the field will go a little further out. They will do some drainage improvements to help prevent the water from coming across the infield and washing out at shortstop and third base. I know the school department was looking to have those specs all put together and ready to go out to bid, so they can start the project early summer. Maybe end of June, but more likely early July, where they'll make those improvements, and we'll have you know, a year to have the rest of the summer, fall, and beginning of the spring for any grass to get going. They do have to do irrigation work and things like that. So,
Excuse me, one question. When it says site amenities, what are they cutting back on, Brendan? What actually?
They had talked about bullpens on both sides and maybe not doing the bullpens on both sides. But the important things, the dugouts with, you know, fencing around them, netting over, you know, from the backstop down past the dugout, keep foul balls more in play and not into the woods on both sides. I know there were some other smaller amenities that they're looking at.
Okay.
So,
I understand.
you know, things that could be added later.
Yeah, okay.
But the important thing is to get the field moving forward, do some, you know, they will do some minor drainage work, hoping to improve that runoff. That's been an issue, and, you know, have a new infield for, and fencing and backstop and everything, and dugouts for our baseball team.
We're still gonna have the portable outfield, right? The fence?
Yes, it'll be a
So we can put it-
temporary.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. You know, that'll all be new, different than the chain link that's out there now. It's a different system, nice, very nice, and will be able to be pulled up, the anchors will be put in the ground, they'll be able to be taken up and then stored, and then put back out for the baseball season next year, or the following year.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's all right.
I just wanted to ask about that. That's
Okay.
Sorry.
So we've had conversations with representatives of the Burlington Players regarding the need to follow public bidding law. That was one of the things that they have requested us to look into further as a nonprofit group, making improvements to a town building. Excuse me. So I had discussed it with town council, and we requested an opinion from the attorney generals, and we recently received that response, and the attorney general's office said that they do not, they're not subject to public bidding laws. You know, we are gonna have them follow prevailing wage, what they pay the workers, but based on the fact that we own the building, we own the improvements that will be made, in that, you know, when the project's complete, or if they're not there anymore, we maintain ownership of the building, but there's no public funds being used for the improvements, so that they do not have to, you know, put it out to bid. So, I'd like to have them come to a meeting, because as part of the Land and Water Conservation Grant, one of the items is to have access to public bathrooms. So because that space will be used for outdoor recreation activities as well, having access to these bathrooms. So we've had some conversations about, you know, they were doing 6 bathrooms, non-gender bathrooms, having 2 of them available from the outside. So having a door on the inside that, you know, can be open during performances, but would be closed off, and a door to the outside that when there's activities going on at the park, that we can open and have access to bathrooms. So I've had some conversations with them on that, and they were looking to see how they could, you know, work that in to their plans. So when they're all done with their final design, I'd love to have them come in, go through that design with the commission, get the approval of the commission, so they can start working on making the improvement to the building.
Absolutely. Thanks. Commissioner Nelson.
Thank you. Yeah, this is kind of unique. I was kind of pleased to see the opinion from the Attorney General's office. I know that we had the old Meadowbrook School occupied by, what's the name of the school? Hope School. I'm sure they've made improvements over there, but I don't know if they've ever done this before, avoided the, you know, the public bidding statute. And it seems to me to be a way for the licensee to save a lot of money. But if we're making them do prevailing wage, as if it's a public contract, how are they gonna save any money, you know?
They will save money. I think, you know, going out to bid, they would have to have someone run the whole bidding process. And prevailing wage was a suggestion from town council that they follow that.
Not that I'm against
Right.
union wages or anything like that, but
Right.
it seems to me to be, it's a wash if you make them
Yeah.
do prevailing wage. Oh, here you are, you don't have to go out to bid,
But-
but you gotta do prevailing wage.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna save much
Yeah.
if we force them to do that, so.
Yeah, we'll see when they start getting, you know,
Yeah.
they're gonna get quotes, right? That, you know, they have people that they're familiar with, and tradespeople, and sure they'll do their homework to get the best price.
Yeah.
available, so.
But keep an eye on the prevailing wage piece, because
I will.
I think that could really cost them an exorbitant amount of money. Unnecessarily.
Okay, we talked about it already, the Simons Park, the lower parking lot. We did have a pre-construction meeting last week. The building is going to be, the parking lot's going to be done. They're looking, they had initially thought third week in July. I had asked if there was any movement on that potentially could be done after August 9th, because we have a summer program there. It is the lower parking lot. They would be working on it during the day and leave it passable at night, as they have with other municipal parking lots that have been done, and parking lots. So he thought that was possible. He had to, the company has other jobs out there and have to make sure that it fits into their schedule and something else could move. So we'll stay in contact with that. But as I mentioned, we'll have a one-way into the parking lot, and we'll empty out onto, you'll be able to turn in from Bedford, Lexington, that intersection, and then you'll have to exit out the other way. They are installing two drainage, cisterns, I think that.
Catch basin.
Catch basin, that the water will go in and slowly leach out. There'll be Cape Cod curbing, so the sloped curbing around the parking lot, and everything will be striped, repaved, handicap spots. So it will dress up that area. The last piece to
Basketball
that
court.
area, to the basketball
Nice.
court project, yes. And this was something that we were on the engineering department does the parking lots. We were on the list for that for a couple of years, so it is time. Therapeutic recreation news, we're excited to have a therapeutic rec intern working under the direction of Emma Jones this summer. Madigan Flynn is heading into her senior year at UNH and has been with us for a couple weeks now. Bless you. Madigan has been immersed into programming, and she's now working through meeting with our different program staff, office staff, to learn what they do, to get a better understanding of the department. I met with her today, threw a lot at her, from budgeting to Recreation Commission to budgeting to programming, our outdoor facility master plan, the Land and Water Conservation Fund grant, those type of things. So we're excited to have her on, and she had some good follow-up questions, so felt like, she was picking up some of that information, and something she seemed to enjoy, so that was good. And then, Yep.
Commissioner Gaston has a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, what's her major, just for information?
therapeutic recreation.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Right in line. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
UNH has a great program.
I know
really-
Emma was up there at UNH as
Yep.
well, right?
Yes. Lots of our, Kelly's a UNH grad, Emma's a UNH grad, Jeff is a UNH grad.
That's right.
And Laurel Rossiter was our therapeutic rec, she was a UNH grad, so
Yep.
good program, definitely.
Thank you.
And then last Friday, we had our annual sneaker prom at the Grandview Farm. It's an opportunity for participants to dress up and in semi-formal attire if they choose, and just enjoy dinner, dancing, and entertainment. So it was a good time had by all. I saw some great pictures today. We had some posts on our social media as well. And then program news. 2 weekends ago, May 18th was a very busy weekend, very busy Saturday. We had the annual yard sale down at Marshall Simons. We also had the Family Fishing Festival up at Mill Pond. Despite some rain here and there, well attended, both events were well attended, and I think everyone had a good time. There's pretty big bass that was caught, and I was lucky enough to be able to hold it, and as they took the hook out, they were inexperienced first time fishing maybe, or very inexperienced, so it was a good, I think it was 14-inch or 15-inch bass, which was pretty good. We had families that just moved here, one family from Britain, and had moved over here, had never fished, and came, and we got them set up. I think they had a good time.
Oh, good.
Father and his 2 sons, so that was good. It's a good time all around,
That's awesome.
so, yeah. And then just summer update, so our program and therapeutic divisions have been working diligently on finalizing the summer staffing and are fully staffed at this time. This evening, we started Directors Camp for our program directors. It's an opportunity for us to meet with our summer program directors, update them on any policies, procedures in the department, provide them with some information going into the summer, answer questions, and just generally meet each other, right? So there's new faces, so they can see who is who and put a name or a face with a name. So we will be meeting tonight, tomorrow night, and Thursday night to just do their orientation. Something we started 4 years ago, just to kind of get people ready for the summer and talk about expectations. And then our summer concert and performance schedule has been set. That is available in our brochure on our website. Will be put out through social media as we get into the summer. Just a reminder, family concerts are on Tuesdays, children's shows are on Wednesdays, and then we also have children's shows at Simon's Park, 1 o'clock on Thursdays. First one is July 3rd, though, on a Wednesday. After that, everything's on Thursdays. That's open to the public. You can go up. We hold them around the treehouse, on the grounds below the treehouse. So it's a great opportunity for parents to, middle of the day in the summer to get out there and enjoy some children's entertainment. So our maintenance division has a number of new initiatives for our seasonal staff. They are required this year to be CPR and first aid certified. And then we're having the first orientation for seasonal maintenance staff this year, which will take place next Monday night. It's an opportunity for our park maintenance management team there, Bill Baker, our superintendent, and our 2 foremen, to meet with the seasonal staff, go over equipment use and care and responsibilities, so everyone hears it at once, right? And they all hear the same thing, because they started at different dates throughout time. And this year, we have 2 returners that have started, and we have some new staff that are ready to start next week. They'll be starting on Tuesday, right after they go through orientation. We have someone coming from the Board of Health to talk about some additional first aid, some sun safety. We have Conservation Commission coming. Eileen from Conservation is going to come and discuss the illicit discharge. So when you're cutting your lawn and you're blowing it into the street, and then where that winds up, it winds up in the sewers, and with the pesticides and herbicides that are on, and fertilizers that are on lawns, what that does. So talking about, keeping clippings on the grass, and at the end, when you clean up, not blowing it into the street, but blowing it back onto the grass, those type of things. So we do have some good kind of educational opportunities for the seasonal staff. We look forward to just a successful summer, getting them some training before they go out. We hand them a weed whacker, or they're driving the trash route and cleaning up trash, emptying trash barrels. So it's something new. Probably some people getting a little later start coming on board, because that is a requirement this year. Next year, we just hold the orientation a little earlier. So we're excited for that.
All right, thank you, Brendan.
That's it for now.
Hey, Mr. Chair. Brendan, how many seasonal employees are on the maintenance division?
I believe there are 10.
10.
Great.
Any other questions for Brendan?
Nope.
Brendan, thank you. So, new business, Brendan. Reorg.
Yes.
So, at this time, I'm going to hand over the gavel to you. And we'll go through the reorg process.
Thank you. So traditionally, our first meeting in June, we do a reorg of the commission. So at this time, if someone would like to make a motion to, for a member to become the chair, we usually change positions there. I'm open to a motion, if anyone has one.
So I'll have a motion for Commissioner Carlson to be chair,
Second?
seconded by Commissioner Nelson. All those in favor, say aye.
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 400. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Now have
So
Pecan.
now we turn the,
She becomes.
the meeting over to you. You could probably stay where you are for now. If you want to move,
Nah, she's getting, she's
up to you.
the commish. You're the commish.
and then,
Dave, don't forget your phone.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
if Chair Carlson would like to, at this time, entertain ask for a motion for a vice chair, you can do that.
Madam Chair, I'd like to nominate Member Nelson for Vice Chair.
Second.
Okay.
Any discussion?
Any discussion?
Hearing none?
Keep the discussion.
Yeah, let's keep it. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, 400.
400.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, congratulations.
Congratulations, everyone.
Before we move on, thank you for supporting me, and I just wanted to thank Dave for the hard work that he put in over the last year. Takes a lot of effort and a lot of time and a lot of passion to be a good chair.
No, it's good.
And you have all of those things, Dave.
I
And you did
I like working with Brendan and his
Did a
staff.
very nice job, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good luck, Commissioner Carlson. You'll do a great job.
Thank you very
Excited for
much.
you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Yes, big shoes to fill, but
No,
thank you.
not really,
I
not
appreciate everything. Brendan, we now have to do subcommittees.
Yes.
If you can remind me on how we want to do that. Do we have to make a motion for each one?
Sure. So I shared the list. Does everyone have a copy of the list, or
Yes.
you do? Okay. So we'll go through those, I think, one at a time, and someone has a big interest in taking one on, and someone doesn't want to do one. I think that's pretty much how we've done it. I don't think we
haven't done
we make motions and everything for that. It's just assigning those responsibilities, if I remember from last year and the years prior. So, do you want me to read them and then you guys can decide? Does that work?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Okay, so Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce, that would be the director. No one wants to, if we don't want to make any changes, we'll just,
Yeah.
how about
Yep.
say nothing?
Yeah.
Community Preservation Act,
Should that even be on there? I mean, that's,
I've heard some whispers that people would like to bring it back.
Yeah, that
I'll
might,
stay- I'll
that
stay
might,
on
that might come back.
okay. I'll
I
stay on.
think we should keep that on.
Okay,
You.
I'll stay on that, sure.
Yeah.
Dog Park,
Do you want me to take dog park?
Do you want to take dog?
I'll
park?
take dog park. So we'll switch that, Brendan. to
Yep.
Commissioner Norton.
all right, field maintenance,
I'd like to take that this year.
okay. Human Services Center,
I'll keep that if anybody else wants it. Or doesn't want it, I'll keep it.
all right, we had, I think this was the master plan, the town's master plan. So, I think it was finally approved, correct? I
Yep.
heard at town meeting that everything,
Yep.
it's been approved, so. I don't know, but if there's any issues that come up regarding the master plan,
Well, Steve's the lawyer, so
Yeah.
he'd be the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
see that law school paid off for you. And then, open space and recreation, we're good for another couple of years. I think it comes up again in 3 years, but,
I'm happy to stay on it.
Right.
Thank you.
Overlook Park Development and Improvements, Lindsay and Steve,
I'd like to stay on
Commissioner Carlson and Commissioner Nelson.
Do you want me to stay on, or do you want it?
I'll take it. It's up to you. It's a totally up to you. Do you want to be, I'll go on Overlook.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Me and you, Dave?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
that'll be good.
No offense, Lindsay.
No, no,
All right. Planning Board? All right. Safe Parks?
I'll stay that. I've been on it forever.
Right. School Committee, I guess Jeremy, still?
Yep.
I'm not sure, I feel bad that we didn't have the audio, and I'll have to work with IT on that. So, the Safe Parks, or I'm sorry, the School Committee, they must have reappointed Jeremy to serve on, I don't know if they did yet, if they.
Oh, you know what? I know that they reorganized.
They usually do it in May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you
so
would've told us.
He must, yeah,
Yeah.
right, if he wasn't gonna be on, okay. Sculpture Park,
I'm going to keep that,
okay, all right.
if that's okay.
I love you.
And then Simon's Park and Simon's Trust,
I'd like to stay on that one.
okay. And then Youth Sports.
I'll take that. I mean, yeah, yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna just go back through Dog Park. We will actually be probably having a meeting at some point this summer or early fall. That was switching over to Commissioner Norden. Field maintenance was switching to Commissioner Carlson. And then Overlook Park Development and Improvements, adding Commissioner Norden and removing Commissioner Carlson.
Commissioner Norden, do you want me to take youth sports so it's kind of evened off? Or?
Yeah, why don't you take that, because you're gonna be, especially with the new field being put
Okay.
down.
Okay, so Lindsay,
They might, when you guys, we really wanna work with the schools on that one, so the design of what they're gonna, you know,
Right.
on our end, on the youth sports end, I hope they have an ear toward, on that also.
Yeah, I believe that's how it was discussed at town meeting. I think having, you know, member of, I think, the Recreation Commission, but someone to represent youth sports, someone to represent the school committee, athletic department. I think it should be a good, well-rounded, right, to get the feedback from everybody,
Correct.
is what I heard at town meeting. And I hope that's the plan, and I know Jeremy's talked about it as well, so.
Okay, great. What is next? Old business.
I do not have any old business.
I do have one question for you. The Sunshade at Wildwood, that had been mentioned by Kelly a couple times. How is that going?
Been playing a little phone tag with the contractor, but they know we have a end of June deadline for our programs to start, so just continuing that phone tag. I know it's on their schedule. Because we have had that, we just haven't nailed down a start date,
Okay.
so,
Executive session, any need?
no need,
Okay.
unless anyone here.
no, I ain't saying you need.
Okay. Next meeting?
So usually, in the summer, we go to one in July and one in August, sometimes one in June. We're at the beginning of June, so, you know, if you want to look at your schedules, if there's something, we start program orientation the week of the 24th?
Okay.
Yes, the 24th, so, you know, we could do something that, you know, Monday the 24th, we can see what's available for a room. Might be a short meeting, we could further discuss some items that were brought up as concerns tonight.
Yeah. That'll probably work, because then we're going right into 4th of July, and then
Yeah.
everyone starts taking vacations.
Exactly. It would either be the
So-
24th or the 8th, so let's stick to the 24th.
Well, we do the 24th, and then we can figure out after that, going into July and August, what, I know that at the end of July, I'm not around. So, maybe
Okay.
something.
So
I
we'll
mean,
stick to the 24th, and then we might have to go into,
I mean, as long as,
August.
yeah, everyone-
does the 24th?
No, it's okay
work
for me, yeah.
Sounds okay?
That works?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
24th works.
24th.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn.
So made.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, 400.
Thank you.
Adjourned.